Let's get up to date with the hostage situation which is developing in Paris. According to news agency AFP, gunmen are holding up a store with some 10 people inside near Paris. This area happens to be the north of Paris, and the incident is inside a clothing store near Paris. Now, remember Primark, which is a fashion accessories brand with a lot of outlets across France. This is the store where in fact, the hostage situation seems to be playing out, and at least 10 people are reported to have taken hostage. We do not have a head count as far as the gunmen are concerned, but what police sources indicate is that there is more than one gunman. Also, those initial pictures on your television screen, special forces have been dispatched. We do not know if there is any contact that has been established at the moment with the armed gunmen or not. Also, whether it is a criminal incident, whether it is a robbery attempt which has gone wrong, or whether it is a terror incident. Let's try and get a sense of what is happening with Shiv Arur, who joins us from the newsroom. Shiv, take us through the latest that you hear now.
Smita, what we've got on our screens is this Google view of the actual street where this hostage crisis is playing out in this Paris suburb. Now, if I could just tell our viewers, this is the street that actually leads up to the Quartz Mall where this hostage situation is actually playing out. That's where Primark is, along with a couple of other brands in the Quartz Mall. As you can see, it's a fairly small mall, pretty narrow, and a fairly crowded street. This is, of course, these are images from a while ago, but a fairly crowded area with lots of buildings, lots of establishments in this particular area. Remember, this is not Paris proper. This is a suburb of Paris. There's a parking lot right next to the mall, and what appears to be a residential area or a residential neighborhood right opposite the mall. Remember, this entire area in a radius of about 1.5 kilometers has actually been completely evacuated at this point of time. The mall itself has a busy street right in front of it. The Primark store apparently is on the ground floor in a street that you can't see in these particular images. On the other side is where the real entrance to Primark actually is, and this is the mall where it's actually taken place. Now, in the street that we're looking at, which leads up to the place where the hostage crisis is playing out, is now completely cordoned off. This particular area has been completely cordoned off. There are police cars, there's a special unit and an anti-terror force also on site, even though sources are confirming to local as well as international media that the circumstances, the evidence and the some clues that they've been able to gather so far appear to suggest that this is an armed robbery of some kind, even though that the persons inside that store are believed to be all store employees and not actually customers. So these images giving you the first real sense of where this Paris suburb hostage crisis is actually playing out.
Absolutely, but with all these other complexes as well, perhaps it might even be possible for these men, Shiv, to sneak out through other, because I'm sure this would have more than one entrance and exit point.
Very, very important point that you raised, Smita. Definitely many different exit points. Remember, this mall actually faces two ways. One side from where we're looking at it in these pictures, and the other side on the other side of the street where there is an actual entrance. So there are multiple exit points in this particular mall. Here you can see it entering the actual basement level parking area, but there are also exit points along the sides of the mall into into other locations, into other buildings as well. All of these are manned security checkpoints into the mall, especially after the Charlie Hebdo incident. But you're right when you say that this is an area that presents a great deal of escape opportunity for these particular gunmen. Thankfully, at least so far, the information we have is that they're holed up inside, but they're armed and being treated to be dangerous, obviously, because they've got lethal weapons and human hostages with them at this point of time. Now, whether they try and make a break for it, whether they establish contact with the Paris police and make certain demands is something that will play out over the next couple of hours. But they're inside what is, as we can see in these pictures, a fairly large establishment, a multi multi-story establishment as well. Will they get onto the roof and try and make an escape from up there onto the roof is not known at this time, but we can also confirm that a French police helicopter is on site and circling this entire area at this point of time for precisely the point that you raised, to make sure that there's no escape from the roofs or otherwise.
Absolutely, Shiv. Stay with us, of course. So, through the help of technology, we are being able to get that perspective and that view for our viewers as to how that place looks really, where that hostage situation is playing out at the moment. Also, Shiv, what I am picking up from other news agencies, including The Guardian, is there seem to be 2 or 3 armed men, and they went into the shop in Villeneuve-la-Garenne, which is that place where the store is located north of Paris, a suburban area, really at around 30 minutes past 6 this morning. So essentially at around 10 o'clock this morning, and at 7 a.m. one of the employees apparently sent a text message to a friend saying, "We are being held hostage by 2 armed men." Joining me also on this broadcast is Lavina, our colleague from London. Lavina, what details are you being able to gather from there, as to whether has it been confirmed that this is an armed robbery attempt, or police is also gauging at it as a terror incident?
Both the options are open, and at this point in time, the traffic has been stopped, and it looks like that the gunmen have made their move and have gotten to the are holding the staff who arrived in the morning hostages. There are 2 or 3 armed men, as they say, who stormed into the shop and sent all the workers scattering. And this town, as you said, is on the northern suburbs of Paris. It's about 9.2 kilometers from the center of Paris, and it's just one day before Paris was to celebrate Bastille, which is a very, very important event for them. So we have to keep both the sides open till the police confirms the traffic has been stopped, and there are elite armed policemen on the scene at the moment. So yes, it's quite.
Lavina, could you just, for the benefit of viewers, elaborate on what is this event that you say is being celebrated tomorrow, and also do we know, because this area Shiv was showing us through some of those images on the net, that there are a lot of other shopping malls also in this area. Do we know if the other malls have been evacuated, if everything the other shops in this area have been closed down as well?
Well, let me just say that Bastille Day celebration in Paris, it's a military parade which would have started at about 9:20 a.m. on the Champs-Élysées on Tuesday, which is tomorrow, on the 14th, and it was to finish on the noon. So this is quite, if it is a terrorist attack, we don't know, then it is making a point as well, because it's a military parade. The theme of the parade is the order of liberation. So again, we have the resonation of attack on liberty, and it happened with Charlie Hebdo, and the whole scene comes in front of the mind. Well, we hope that that's not the case. So as far as the shops are concerned, everything has been is on standstill. The police are there, and the area has been cordoned off, and we are still hoping to hear exactly what is the situation and whether these people are terrorists or not. But they have definitely held more than 10 people hostage, including the workers of Primark.
Yes, Lavina, do stay with us. For the viewers who are joining us at this point, we are getting you up to date with a hostage crisis that is playing out in a fashion accessory store near northern Paris, the suburban areas of North Paris, really. Primark, which is this fashion accessory store. Now, it looks like from little media information that we are able to obtain at this point that this could have been an armed robbery attempt that has gone wrong. But we do not know for sure whether it can be ruled out that this is a terror incident. Those images, of course, of the shopping mall as it would look on any normal day when people would be out shopping in the store. Today, of course, the situation inside this mall would be different. It's the Quads Mall where this particular store is located, and also on the other side, off the screen those images of the French security forces who have been dispatched off to that area where this hostage crisis is playing out, and perhaps all attempts being made in trying to evacuate civilians safely to minimize casualties before the police move into the mall with of course a specific plan of action, and also to establish contact with the hostage takers. Lavina is getting us up to date from London. Remember, Paris is also 3.5 hours behind Delhi time. So, Lavina, it's a Monday morning. What we're also picking up from The Guardian is possibly one of the staff members had sent a text as early as 7 o'clock, which is around 10:30 India time, to the police saying that they have been taken hostage.
Yes, it happened very, very early hours in the morning, and just let me update you that the entire mall has been shut, and there's no people who are going in and out of the mall. So it happened very early hours in the morning, and I must reiterate that if it is a robbery that's gone wrong, it will be done and dusted with very soon, I hope. But if it's a terrorist attack, they are.
Okay, Lavina Tandon joining us from London there with all the updates, and as she said that this mall and also the nearby shops, of course, this mall has been evacuated and the nearby shops have also been shut for the moment. We will continue to track this hostage situation playing out on the ground and get you up to date as and with whatever more transpires in this developing story.